If you're running Google Ads and struggling to get results, the chances are the keywords that you're targeting and your overall keyword strategy is a big part of the problem because choosing the wrong ones can easily drain your budget while choosing the right ones can bring you in high quality leads. And in today's video, we're going to walk you through how Google Ads keywords work, the different types, and how to find the best keywords to use for your campaign. And just to give you a brief idea of, how Google Ads define keywords themselves in search network campaigns, because when we're running search campaigns, we decide ourselves what types of keywords that we want to appear for. And I always recommend running search campaigns, especially at the very beginning, because you have a lot more control over only showing your ads to people that are actually interested in what you offer. But keywords are basically words or phrases that are used to match your ads with the terms people are searching for. And obviously, selecting high quality, relevant keywords for your campaign can just help you, reach the customers that you want when you want. And the key to selecting high quality and relevant keywords is thinking of keywords that actually have high buying intent for the services that you offer. So the keywords that you choose to target, do you think that somebody typing this into Google is actually looking to get the service that I offer done? Now, there are a ton of different types of keywords that you can choose to target inside Google Ads. For example, brands, meaning things that mention specific brand names like Nike, for example, or competitor names. And in most cases, especially for service based companies, you do not want to target these types of keywords. And you might be able to target these types of keywords for ecom, for example, but you never want to target brands or competitor names for service based companies. Another type of keyword that you do not want to target is informational, meaning that the person might be interested in the topic of what you offer. For example, in this case here, gutter cleaning as a keyword, they might be interested in how to clean gutters or tips on how to clean gutters or tools to clean gutters, but they're not looking for you to clean their gutters, so you shouldn't be targeting these types of keywords. Now, you could argue that, gutter cleaning in itself is quite vague and, you should only be targeting gutter cleaning near me because that clearly indicates the person that's looking to get the job done. But we like to have a mixture of, generic keywords like this, gutter cleaning, and have these lined up with relevant gutter cleaning ads and gutter cleaning landing pages. Same with gutter repairs, gutter services, completely depends on the service that you offer. So it's fine to have some keywords like this as well that aren't, really long tail because it'll help you boost your overall search volume as long as it's relevant to the service that you offer. But if it had something like how to or anything informational in front of it or after the core theme of the keyword, then I wouldn't recommend targeting that type of keyword. On the other hand, then the type of keyword that I do recommend targeting as much as possible is transactional. And by transactional, I mean keywords that indicate that the person is actually looking to get the job done. So as we go through these keywords that we're running for this campaign, for example, a good example of a transactional keyword would be roofing companies near me because they're looking for a roofing company nearby. Roof repairs near me because that also indicates that they're looking to get a roof repair nearby. And anything else like this that indicates the person is looking to get the job done. We also like keywords that mention specific place names because the intent is usually quite high if somebody's looking for, gutter cleaning in specific location, for example, rather than just the service itself without any additional context. But anything that mentions near me, in my area, or the place name tends to be the best types of keywords to target, especially for any service based companies. The next thing we want to talk about then when it comes to your keywords is the match type that you choose for your keywords. And there are three match types inside Google Ads to be aware of. So, broad match, where you don't have any bracket or quotation marks around the keyword and you just leave it as is. Phrase match, then, where you put quotation marks around the keyword, and square brackets, then, for exact match around the keyword. And the main differences between each of these match types is how strict or how lenient you allow Google to be with the searches that your ads actually appear for. So let's just say, stick with the gutter cleaning example. Under exact match, let's just stick with the gutter cleaning example. If you have an exact match keyword for gutter cleaning near me, your ads will only appear for searches that have the exact same meaning as gutter cleaning near me. So you could appear for searches like local gutter cleaning in my area, as these all have the exact same meaning, but they don't necessarily have to be the exact same word or phrase, as long as the exact meaning is the same. So if you target a bunch of keywords and you only want to appear for search terms that actually mean the exact same thing as the keywords that you're targeting, then I'd recommend using exact match for the most part. And this is what I'd recommend using for most service based companies at the very beginning, especially when starting out a new campaign. Then I'd consider using some phrase match keywords as well, especially if you're struggling for search volume, where your ads can appear for searches that include the meaning of your keyword but don't necessarily have the exact same meaning as the keyword that you're targeting. So most of the search terms that you'll appear for under phrase match will still be somewhat relevant, but you'll also still appear for a lot of irrelevant search terms as well that you're going to have to add as negatives inside your search terms report. But if you're struggling to get your budget to spend using exact match keywords, then it is the best balance to, start getting yourself more impressions in the door. Whereas broad match, then I wouldn't recommend using, especially early on for any service based company where Google will show your ads for absolutely anything even remotely related to what you offer. And if you don't have, a massive, extensive negative keyword list added in advance, then you are going to appear for, a ridiculous amount of, irrelevant searches, and you're going to be spending a lot of time in your search terms report as well, adding irrelevant searches as negatives. Because with broad match especially, you'll appear for a lot of competitor names, a lot of informational queries, and some searches you'll appear for, you'll even wonder, how did I even appear for this search? But I would argue though that for broad match, once your campaign does get to a point where you have a lot of conversion data and you're using smart bidding with a target CPA and Google is able to get you leads for a specific CPA amount, then you can add in broad match to use Google's AI as much as possible because it already has context as to, which people are most likely to result in leads. But I wouldn't recommend using it early on inside your campaign. Now, to find the best quality, high buying intent keywords to use for your campaign, I'd always recommend using the Google Ads Keyword Planner, and to find it, I would go to Tools inside your account and then come up to Planning and then Keyword Planner. And what you want to do then is discover new keywords. And we're not going to go into detail on keyword research inside this video, as we've got a much more detailed, extensive video that shows how to use a keyword planner in full. And I'll leave the link for that above if you'd like to check that out as well. But basically, what you want to do is add in the location that you're looking to target. And then once you do that, you just want to enter a few relevant ideas to the service that you provide. So let's just say, you want to appear for gutter cleaning and roof cleaning, for example. Once you enter in some relevant ideas for what you offer, you can just press get results. And from there, then you have a bunch of keyword ideas that you can work with. But the key to using the keyword ideas in the planner is to use the most high buying intent keywords or transactional keywords that you can find, as we mentioned earlier on. And as mentioned as well, you can have a look at the keyword research, how to find the best keywords to use for Google Ads video that I have mentioned inside this video as well. Another aspect of your keywords you can look at as well is your overall quality score. So it's a good indication as to, how much Google likes your keyword or ad and how relevant it thinks it is to your ads and landing pages. And what you can do to actually, pull up your quality scores of your keywords is just go to columns, modify columns, go to all columns, quality score, and then add quality score, expected click through rate, landing page experience, and add relevance. And what you can do is, if you have a really low quality score, what you can do is increase your expected click through rate, first of all, by having more relevant ads, by improving your ad copy so that it's more likely to be clicked on in the first place. And that ties in with ad relevance as well, which is making your ads more relevant to the keywords of that ad group, which comes down to splitting up your keywords into more separate ad groups based on intent. And also having a good landing page experience as well, where you have a landing page that's highly relevant to what the person's looking for, optimized for conversions, really easy to use, loads quickly. And what we have as well, if you'd like to check it out, is a separate video that goes into much more detail on quality score specifically and increasing that, which I'll also leave the link for up above. But the most important point to mention about, improving your quality score and just improving the performance of your keywords in general is just grouping them together based on intent. So all of these keywords here for different services, they're all split up into separate ad groups based on intent. So roof repair, gutter cleaning, roof cleaning, and so on, they're all split up into separate ad groups based on intent. Because that way we're able to write ads that are highly relevant to the problem that the person has, and they're way more likely to click on our ad and convert on our ad because our ad solves the problem that they're looking for. What you want to do regularly as well is go from search keywords up to search terms here under insights and reports, because this is where you see the actual search terms that your ads have appeared for. So these differ from the keywords itself because the keywords are what you choose to target from the very beginning, but the search terms here are the actual searches that people have typed into Google that your ads have shown up for. And what you want to make sure you do is that, any search terms that you're getting that might be getting a lot of clicks but no conversions, and happen to be irrelevant to the services that you offer need to be added as negatives so that you make sure that you're not wasting any budget, on wasted clicks that are never going to convert into high quality leads. And going through your search terms report is something we'd recommend doing as regularly as possible, at least twice a week on average. So that way you're constantly refining the quality of the search terms that you appear for, because you're consistently telling Google that these are the types of keywords that I want to appear for, and these are the types of searches that I do not want to appear for at all. So adding negatives to your campaign for searches that aren't relevant to what you offer is really important. And back inside your search keywords as well, you can go to negative search keywords and add negatives for any search terms that you don't want to appear for, even at the very beginning. So not only from your search term analysis, but if you know that there's any specific words or phrases that you just don't want to appear for, regardless of the context, then you can add them to your campaign as negative search keywords in advance, and it's just going to massively save the amount of negatives that you're going to have to add over time as well. So here, for example, is a list of low buying intent and informational words or phrases that, regardless of the context for a lot of the campaigns we're running, we just don't want to appear for at all. So what you can do as well is make a list like this and just add them to your campaign as broad match negatives from the very beginning. So you can copy all of the negative keywords that you want to add to your campaign and paste them into your negative search keywords list here that you want to add. And that way then, and just leave them as well as broad match negatives, meaning that you don't put any quotation marks or square brackets around them. And this way then, any searches that contain these words, your ads will not appear for. And it's just going to massively save a lot of hassle inside the search terms report, because you're automatically blocking out of a lot of searches that you never wanted to appear for in the first place. Now, I hope this video gave you more clarity on keywords inside Google Ads as a whole, and gave you a good understanding as to why having your keyword targeting set up properly from the very beginning is so important. Now, if you do have any questions at all about keywords inside Google Ads or any other aspects of Google Ads in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you are a service-based company looking to improve and refine your own campaigns, feel free to have a look at the link in the description down below. And if you do enjoy this Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as we'll be posting all things related to Google Ads here daily. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video.